Welcome back to part 2 of Alaska Boots for Chelsea. If you remember where we left off in part 1, Chelsea's boots were missing and they found them and the animals had ruined them. So here we go. Her head down, Chelsea went into the house. Sitsu gave her a long hug and said, "It's okay, Skook. I will fix them this time. It is important to listen to your elders." Sitsu mended Chelsea's boots and replaced the missing beads. "Basi, Sitsu," Chelsea said. Remember, Basi means, in Athabascan, it means thank you. As soon as Chelsea put her boots on, she knew she would dance again. They were as good as new. Look at how cute they are. She danced at the potlatch, and everyone in the village cheered and began to dance with her. Hee-ya, hey-ya. One could hear the music far away, and the animals returned one by one as they heard Chelsea's music, and each star twinkled in the moonlight. So a potlatch, like in our last story, is a celebration by the Athabascan people. They were used for many different things, and then these are the animals of this area that are necessary for the Athabascan people to survive. As the music seemed to float through the air, the aurora borealis danced above their heads, swirling soft strokes of pink, blue, and silver, higher and higher in the sky. Hee-ya, hi-ya-ya. Chelsea's boots were light and soft. They made her feet feel like a raven about to fly. Drum, 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 hee-ya, hi-ya-ya. Off she went to walk in the snow. I am like a raven, dancing in the wind, she thought. So, just like in our last book, they also have celebrations where they're doing different kinds of dances also. And that is something very similar to my culture, and I'm just wondering, is it similar to the cultures you've grown up with? That's the end of the story itself, but we now have this section called the Athabascan people, and I'm going to read to you a little bit about them. And like in our other book, very similar, here is a glossary with Athabascan words and what they mean, such as Basi, which means thank you. Diniga, if you remember, that means moose. Potlatch is a feast or festival. Sitsu means grandma. Skook or Tsaguk, both mean the same thing. It means my dear child. If you speak Spanish, it might be mijo or mija, same thing. Denali is Mount McKinley. The Alaskan state flowers, the forget-me-not, that's what Sitsu sewed onto her boots. And the aurora borealis are the northern lights. And a cache is a small storage shed made of logs on stilts, which is used to keep food and special things away from animals. I don't think this one worked out so well. Maybe it was left open. So, about the Athabascan people. Athabascan people have lived in Alaska for thousands of years. They have lived off the land, subsisting on moose, fish, caribou, and other animals. They eat the meat and use the fur and skins for clothes. Many wild plants and berries were also used for food and medicine. The people have feasts called potlatches to celebrate different events throughout the year. At these events, speeches are made by the chief and others. Sharing is very important, and it is also a time for Indian dancing and visiting. That is exactly like the people in our first story, Charlie and the Blanket Toss. I love that connection. Respect for elders is important as they have had long lives and know about living on the land. The children learn by listening to their many stories. The Athabascan people treat everyone as family. Grandmas and grandpas are considered to be every child's grandma and grandpa. All aunts and uncles are everyone's auntie or uncle. And that is the same if you come from a Hawaiian or island culture, or if you come from a Native American culture in the lower 48 states. Those are the same philosophy. Everybody is grandma or auntie or uncle. The land is very important to the Athabascan people. It sustains them, and they want to take care of it so that their children's children and future generations will be able to live off the land as they have done for thousands of years. Again, they take care of their land and the animals on it, just like in our story, Charlie and the Blanket Toss, so that many generations of children will be able to have the same life and the same very important things. In this book, this is where I got the ideas for some things that you could study. Both books talked about the Aurora Borealis. Both books talked about a specific Alaskan tribe. And then in this one, like in the last one about whales, there are many different kinds of animals that we might use for some research. And I will list those out in our Google Classroom. Red squirrels, just some of the ones from the story. I'm really excited to learn about that thing that looked like a mongoose. So those will be on our Google Classroom. I will have some more videos and slides, not just the ones from Michael and I in Alaska, but to go along with some of the things you might be studying that you can take some notes on and you can put together a huge project. Bye. We'll see you next time.